this jury system we have, clearly it's the best system ever, right?
I mean,
but
there's an interesting argument to be made for other countries' systems as well, but it's certainly the one that served our country pretty well for basically the entirety of our history. So,
well, it may be interesting to explore those other ones. I'm not as familiar with them. That being said, could it have been possible for this jury to be impartial? If nothing else, they weren't sequestered, et cetera. What do you make of the jury?
It's very difficult. I think Alan Dershowitz went on Court TV yesterday and made a very good point, which is that because all the jurors live in Minneapolis, which is the city that's under the primary threat of riot, they all had a personal stake in the outcome of their deliberations, which is not how our justice system is supposed to work. You're supposed to, we would think about that as being a conflict in any other circumstance. I predicted an acquittal because I thought the jurors would overcome that, but it's not apparent to me that they did. I thought there was pretty clearly reasonable doubt on cause of death. I thought that I have a hard time, understanding the reasoning that says that how I just disregard the possibility of a heart attack under these circumstances. But it's clear they thought the man was guilty, or they didn't want to go against the other jurors who were insisting he was guilty and to convict him. And that's what happened.
So I wish we could get some insight into what happened during the deliberations. Will we ever? Because when I was reading through the very vague descriptions of the 12 jurors, it seemed like a pretty kind of diverse-y group of people. Like some people had relatives who were police officers, and some people really liked Black Lives Matter. So it's kind of like a good mix. But what do you think those conversations went like? And will we ever know? And who caved? And was it close? Like at first vote, was it 8-4 and they convinced the last 4? Will we ever know?
It's possible. I'm pretty sure there's no law that prevents a juror from disclosing what happened in deliberations after the jury does its job and the verdict is announced. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a book or two or something like that that's ultimately kind of gives us insight or some insight into what was happening in the jury room. But yeah, no, I don't know. I think it looks like it really didn't take them very long. I mean, these were, they didn't just have one count. They had 3 complicated counts. They had complicated jury instructions. And, it says they were there for, 10 hours of deliberation or something, but they started their deliberations kind of pretty late on Monday and then only took through midday Tuesday. So again, I just don't think there was actually that much time that they could have gone through all the law. So, this wasn't a situation where the jury could have been going in detail over the body cam videos and trying to piece things together. And I don't even really think that, if there was a holdout, they would have lasted very long in the circumstances. I think this is the kind of thing where I think probably you just had a unanimous guilty vote from the very beginning. And then they just went through the motions of going through what they had to find each element and make sure they had it. But I doubt there was much dissent.
Wow. That was deep and insightful. I want more of that. Subscribe, get more.